Minnesota Wild. Introduced in 2000 after the North Stars moved to Dallas and even won a cup, Minnesota decided to name their new team after the state's wildlife and outdoors, or to be frank, everywhere outside the city limits of Minneapolis and St. Paul. I've traveled through Minnesota and it is truly beautiful out there. Their jerseys in the early days alternated between wearing green or red most days like your indecisive spouse before a Christmas party, until any and all red jerseys were dropped once Adidas took over. Their current home green debuted in 2017 to kick off the Adidas era, and it's fine, I guess. My biggest distraction is the wheat stripe going through the middle like Montreal, but it doesn't continue on the back, and it's the only jersey to feature this. Why? Many theorize this was done because the logo is dark and would get lost in a dark green background, and yet they had no problem with that before. I also don't like the lack of a bottom hemline stripe, making this look like a nightgown. Now, the wheat on the arms has a red stripe going along the top, and yet that's not on the body. Why couldn't that be brought to the middle? It's as if this was turned in before they truly finished it. This iteration of the Road White was introduced in 2013 under Reebok, and it's got a hemline stripe. Why didn't Adidas or even Fanatics for that matter just take this, color it green, and call it a day? Minnesota introduced a Kelly Green alternate last year dubbed the 78s to reference the North Stars, and was identical to their second reverse retro used in the 22-23 season, and the subject of a rebrand rumor that the organization shot down this past offseason. Besides, I thought Minnesotans were trained at this point to hate green and yellow. On its own, this looks nice, and I dig the State of Hockey patch on the shoulder and the captain patches being inside the state itself, but honestly, looking at how the colors are laid out on this, I'm surprised the Wild haven't used this template. All you need to do is darken the green, replace the yellow with red, and replace the white with wheat. Like the Blues, the Wild adopted a sponsor patch for the 22-23 season and went with Tria, and they specialize in orthopedics. It looks okay on the jerseys, but nothing to get too excited about. Honestly, with how swing and a miss Minnesota has been, they need a redesign. The road is okay, but the home is honestly one of the worst jerseys they've worn. They've got a fantastic color scheme, but I don't think this shows it off the best. Tomorrow we're heading to the Music City to look at the Nashville Predators.